could take away that top spot.
Junior, I think that now.
Contact! They both hit! Bell slams into the dump, or the Briscoe, and now Bell across the grass. The 98 was sliding.
How much damage? Look at all the damage on that 20.
Knowing you're going to do this and going through with it, you have to know you're going to get fined, points penalty, or even suspended. Well, Kurt Busch decided he was going to pull up next to Tony Stewart's pit crew as he was doing a pit stop because he was angry at Tony Stewart. Kurt Busch had to have known how bad this looked, and he still proceeded to do this. If this isn't a stupid moment in NASCAR, I don't know what is. And thankfully, that pit guy saw it coming, so he didn't get hit. I will never know how much alcohol this human consumed, but it had to have been way above the limit. It still blows my mind that somebody even attempted this, let alone did it. During one of the races at Pocono Raceway in the mid-90s, this wild fan decided to run across the track and almost get hit by a car. Just stupid.
Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh, somebody did that on a dare.
No way.
And the 5's going to chase him in. To your point, Jeff, he cannot allow the 12 to get a lap. Look at the 5 gain to the rear bumper.
The 5 into the water. The barrier's right at the end of pit road. He slides into him, damage to the right front.
That's going to bring the yellow out. They're going to have to throw the caution to be able to repair those barriers.
What, sand in him, you see this.
Look how much he's gaining on him, and he has no choice but to turn right or run into the back of Blaney. He turns right and gets the end of the pit wall. Just way too much speed here.
And heavy damage with these barrels.
In 2023, Kyle Larson, who was trying to chase down Ryan Blaney and pick up another win at Homestead at one of, if not the best track for him on the NASCAR schedule, was too confident heading into pit road and overshot the entrance. When he overshot the entrance, he ran right into the yellow sand barrels, putting sand all over the racetrack and damaging his race car. He was unable to keep going and costed himself a win. Thankfully for himself, he was already locked into the next round, but this could have been really bad for Larson's championship hopes in 2023.
Joey Logano being scored in 38th after this that brought out our most recent caution.
Yep, that's a tough pill to swallow when you're taken out by a guy that's 15 laps down. I don't know exactly what happened there, but if you take a ride on the 22 here, just watch. He gets pounded in the left rear.
Slowest car on the racetrack took us out. Go figure. We had a pretty good auto trader forward. We're just doing what we can to hang in there. We were obviously running second. Brad is really fast. He's definitely a car to beat right now. But we were just doing what we can with strategy, keeping our car up towards the front, running some good lap times, and felt like we could have a Penske 1-2 again, and then just kind of get taken out by the slowest car. I feel like there should be like a driver's test before you get out in a cup car and make sure you know how to drive before you drive one. But
when Kelly Yarborough was finishing behind Richard Petty at his infamous 200th victory in the NASCAR Cup Series, Kelly Yarborough thought the race was over. The race was actually under caution, and he came in one lap too early and pulled a Mark Martin. If you don't know what that is, it basically means before the race is over, you pulled into pit road and think that you're already done driving. But he still had one more lap to go, and unfortunately for Yarborough, he lost all those positions.
In all likelihood, there will be no more racing, so Petty will come by now with one lap to go, and behind Petty, Cale Yarborough is turning off and heading toward pit road. Hard to imagine what is going through Cale's mind. He can sacrifice second place if he makes a pit stop here, but Petty has the lead with one lap to go.
Then I misread the flagman's fingers, and when we came down for the caution flag there, I thought the race was over. And I guess my brain blew up is what happened. It was just a dumb thing for me to do, and I came in, which lost some more positions.
This has to be one of the lowest IQ moves as a pit crew I've ever seen in my entire life. When battling for a championship in 2019, Denny Hamlin had one of the fastest cars as the nighttime fell. He was chasing down race leader Kyle Busch and championship contender. This would catapult Hamlin into the championship lead. Ultimately, when he came down for his final pit stop of the evening, his crew put this massive piece of tape on the front of his race car, and essentially made his engine overheat and almost explode. Hamlin had to come back down pit road to remove the tape and cost him a championship.
They put a massive piece of tape on the grill last time down, Steve. It's getting cooler. You can see all that tape they put on the left side. Denny said the water temps are now pegged, the oil at 345, and he said we're not going to make it. We're not going to make, the engine's not going to make it to the end of the race if we're doing this pace.
So here's the crew member right here putting it on. Man, that is that's half the grill they've covered right there.
Why didn't he come to pit road now, though, Steve? Why is he going to stay out?
Denny said, we're not going to make it. They're coming to pit road, guys. Denny Hamlin's championships may be over. He told Chris Gabehart, I'm not coming down pit road. You make that call. Tell me if I need to come down. Just so crushing for Denny Hamlin, this 11 team, the slow roll down pit road, and it's just spewing water everywhere. They're going to get the tape off of it at this point. Just going to salvage what they can salvage here. Ford Goodyear tires, but man, look at all that water it's losing, Steve. I don't know how long that thing could last when he's going to go back out on the racetrack.
He needs to get back out there, get the temperature down. You saw the tape pulled off. Once again, that tape was put on the last pit stop. It was a calculated change that was put on in error. They definitely don't want to cover that much of the grill. We talked about how big.
Got a drag race to the top of the hill. Whoa, man, McMurray's in trouble. Seen that happen so many times.
The blue flag waving means there is a car off course. Now there are two. Bobby Labonte is around.
Happens almost every time we come here, that little chain reaction. I think he's going to get back. Kurt Busch, uh-oh, got another car around over here coming through turn 8. Oh, no!
Hard lick.
Kenny
Sterling Marlin in the 14 car, and they're still stacking up. Casey Mears.
One car, T-bone Schrader, extremely hard.
Oh, it was an incredible lick.
That's Tom Hubert in the 27 car.
Tom Hubert nailed Kenny Schrader.
Turn 9.
Yeah, the 21 car gets sideways. I don't know if he got help or not. We'll see here momentarily. I don't think he did. Carl Edwards didn't touch him. Kenny just spun the car, got up on the curb. But, man, when he comes back out in the racetrack, the melee breaks loose.
And you can see Dave Blaney getting in the back. And look at Jamie McMurray, the guy that sat on the outside pole because of what happened up there in turn 2. He was almost involved in it.
This 2006 race at Sonoma had to have been the lowest IQ I've ever seen to start a race. You had the race leader driving off in the dirt. Then you had cars behind him who wrecked. And then when they were showing the replay for that, you had a massive crash on the back straightaway involving multiple cars and ended up having to red flag the race, not even a lap into the green flag. This was just wild.
First off, let's talk about the finish of the race coming down pit road.
Well, you know, they wrecked. The spotter said, man, they're wrecking all over the front straightaway, and this is getting into 3. You're coming to the yellow, so we checked up, of course, and I pulled down pit road. I figured the racetrack was just scattered, and I pulled down pit road, and I kind of hesitated a little bit, and I came in, and one of the officials pointed to me to pull down here to the pit box, so I pulled the pit box, and then they said, you need to get by the start-finish line. So I don't know, you know. I look like a dumb guy for what happened, but I should have stayed on the racetrack, you know. Should have stayed on the track.
And how he got that damage on the right rear.
Amazing job of missing the crash. They come to slow down to stop for the red flag, and you can see the yellow car right there on the back of the screen. Austin pulls up to stop. Yellow car doesn't. That's Mike Wallace in the 26, and he clobbers Dylan.
He also hit that car that's right behind the 42 a little bit there with his on the left side door.
42 got a little out of the groove there. Clear by 2 in the 48, 1 out of the 42.
I think he was behind that car and he couldn't see, and I think when he went to the inside, he clipped the, I think that it clipped the grass.
NASCAR's most popular driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr., makes a mistake at Texas Motor Speedway in 2014. Jr., who had a really fast car that day, accidentally went in the grass after it had rained and tore the entire front end of his race car up and damaged teammate Jimmy Johnson behind him. Jr. misjudged the part of the dogleg and ended up wrecking himself and bursting into flames. Thankfully, Jr. was okay after this horrific accident, but it was unfortunate for him because he could have probably won that afternoon.
Uh-oh, there goes Tony. Oh, my goodness.
Crash in turn 4.
Man,
and there in the midst of it sits Tony Stewart and Kurt Busch, the 2 leaders.
I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe Tony got a little loose all at once.
Kurt Busch, the two will go straight to the garage, Jerry.
I'm worried about you. I ain't worried about that car.
That was Greg Zipadelli, Stewart's crew chief. And the strongest Chevy and the strongest Dodge in Daytona are wrecked.
Let's watch it. I don't know if Kurt got into the back of Tony or not. Let's wait till we get around here and see. Tony's car just Tony hit the apron. He got down on the apron. He got a little bit loose. Kurt was all over the back of him, and there he goes.
Tony's dropped the window net on his car. That's a signal to safety workers that he is okay.
In 2007, Tony Stewart and Kurt Busch had the dominant cars of Speed Weeks. Tony Stewart had already won the shootout and his dual race, and Kurt Busch was not too far behind him. Unfortunately, with 48 laps to go, their detriment to winning the Great American Race fell short. Tony Stewart got loose off the bottom of the racetrack and Kurt Busch got into him. They both would go into the wall, ending their days and ending their shot to win the race. This was arguably Tony Stewart's best shot ever to win the Great American Race, and he wrecked it with 47 laps to go. This was extremely disappointing for Tony Stewart and his fans, as he was never able to win that Great American Race that he so desperately wanted. Talking about another Great American Race, it was Sterling Marlin in 2002 who pulled the dumbest move I've ever seen under red flag. You're not allowed to work on your vehicle, and Sterling Marlin wanted to pull his right front fender away from his tire to help him on this restart. He was worried about the damage he may have suffered for that last caution, but that is something that you cannot do.
Well, I'm sure he's checked. He may have been wondering how that right front damage looks.
The car, Sterling Marlin is jumping out of his car. He's going around to look at the right front fender. But, oh, he can't do that.
You can't work on your car under the red flag. That's the NASCAR rule.
Pull it off a little bit.
You're not allowed to work on your car under the red flag.
Oh, we got a car on the wall.
That's two cars. True accident.
It's raining in turn one.
It all of a sudden just started raining really quickly in turn one.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin said his car is damaged, and it was raining a good lap and a half before that. So that's what all the drivers, of course, are going to talk about when we do have a chance to talk to them, is it's still raining here on pit road.
Currently with multiple wins on the season, I'm just not sure, the value. Oh,
he's got the window net down, pushing the pace car.
I don't believe I would do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. It's definitely going to draw the attention of NASCAR there.
And Kyle Busch just drives in the corner expecting to have grip, and it's just not there. Track's wet. Big damage.
This was one of the biggest IQ blunders we've ever seen in the sport of NASCAR, and it wasn't even off of a driver. Ryan Blaney, who was dominating in 2022 at the All-Star race, was ready to take home the checkered flag. Coming off our turn number 4, Blaney would take the checkered flag, but the caution was out. The caution came out not even 100 feet from the start-finish line and effectively made them have to restart the race. But nobody in the grandstands, and it seemed like nobody in the sport knew that would actually end the race. NASCAR's procedure is if the caution comes out in the final lap, the race is over. So nobody expected anything different, right? But apparently for an all-star race, they have special rules, and special rules were made. Unfortunately for Blaney, he had to restart one more time.
But here is Blaney coming to the line. And the caution lights are already flashing on the fence.
I don't know what to say.
I do, but I won't.
It was, they threw it right before he got to the line.
Wait.
Here comes Logano, and a caution comes out. The 0-0. Looks like a lot of damage there to Quinn Houff.
Now a huge advantage to those cars that stayed on the racetrack.
George.
Oh, he's coming down to try to get to pit road. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can't.
Oh, got Matty D too.
He did. I'm assuming he was trying to get to pit road and pitting from.
Can't do that.
The middle of the racetrack. Yeah.
Quinn Houff's time in NASCAR definitely was a bit controversial at times, but none was more controversial than this moment at Texas. Quinn Houff tries to turn down off the racetrack onto pit road and ends up collecting a couple cars, causing an accident. It's like Quinn Houff had no awareness of what was around him or that there were even other cars on the racetrack. I've never seen a car do that, just turn a hard left to make it down pit road, taking out another competitor during a green flag pit stop cycle. It is still crazy.
Greg Biffle runs up here and he gives Kurt a shot right there. That kind of is a wake-up call to Kurt. I got to go. I got to get by Tony. So he gets underneath of him, and I'm sure right there the spotter saying, clear up, clear up, clear up. No, no, no. Too late. And then Tony just
finished the deal off.
Pushed him on out of the way.
Tony Stewart comes to pit road, and then Kurt Busch comes in as they're looking at the damage to Stewart's car. Kurt comes up to offer his opinion.
And guess what? They got the 2 car parked
for the day.
Meet me at the Oval Office, please.
Turn 1, Danica, Patrick, Landon, Castle tangled up. Castle going for a slide.
Yeah, we did not hit anything. Did not hit anything.
That gets clear there. And she gets in on the bumper, but just doesn't get off of him. Right there is where you're talking, and you just turn it left and lock it down. And she had a chance to not go up hit that wall if she just stayed on the brakes and kept it down there.
Danica Patrick. She learned the hard way of what rule number 1 in stock car racing is all about. If you're going to pay somebody back or wreck somebody, you better not wreck yourself worse than you wrecked your opponent. Well, this happened to Danica Patrick at Kansas on lap 155. She tried to get payback on Landon Castle and ended up spinning herself out, overcorrecting, and hitting the wall head on. And guess what? Landon Castle received no damage from this accident.
See the intensity level coming up on these guys.
We saw Mike Wallace look like he was going below David Rudiman right here, but they ran up on a slower car. Wow.
Right. Man.
That's Kevin LePage's 61 that Carl Edwards went up across the back of. And then it all broke loose behind him. Car slipping and sliding. Kelly Byers involved. Brad Keselowski, watch again.
Oh, you see what happened here. This 61 was not up to speed, and it's almost like these guys moved over and didn't see him.
In the NASCAR Xfinity Series and Nationwide Series, Kevin LePage pulls one of the dumbest things to do at a superspeedway track. He merged back up in front of the entire pack, barreling behind him at over 200 miles per hour. LePage would cause a massive accident, which would ensue a red flag that collected over half the field. Still this day, nobody has ever merged on a hot racetrack like that and collected cars. And the funniest thing about this is Kevin LePage blamed his spotter, couldn't even take blame for his own actions.
Little speedy dry, and Brandon Jones hits the wall.
Wow.
Hang on to it. Hang on to it.
Tyler Reddick in the 9 also with an issue.
Keep it up there.
Caution coming out again.
And Hemrick moved away to try to prevent the side draft, and then the 19 went to try to side draft. Next thing you know, he was sideways. I don't think I've ever seen that before, Junior. Have you?
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't seen anything. Their heads to keep themselves out of trouble.
That was a really late block from Chase Elliott. I think fortunate to get away with that.
How about Alex Bowman in the 88? He gets a shove. He's going to go sideways right in front of the pack. The 48 caught up, and the 9 is caught up. The caution has come out. There again, the hit by the 22 in the 88. He goes down low, and then he's along for the ride.
And what a horrible feeling. You know, when you're Blaney, you're Chase Elliott, you see him coming right at the racetrack, and see Chase at the 48 of Jimmy Johnson just couldn't get slowed down, nor could Kurt.
Yeah, you have to be aggressive and block, but you also have to realize, I guess, when the run is so massive behind you, you're just not going to win.
How much damage did Chase Elliott get right here? Car goes around. Not sure he ever hit anything.
Still to this day, years and years later, it blows my mind to think when just stage 2, Alex Bowman decided to throw this stupid block on Joey Logano, costing himself a chance to even finish the race and causing the big one on the backstretch in a playoff race at Talladega. Alex Bowman tries to throw a block on Joey Logano, and it does not end well.
He's sideways, but he lurches out front. The white flag one more time around. Jones gets tagged by the 54. Whoa! Ty Gibbs out front. Jones around. Caution comes out.
Man, he's got brake. Look how the brakes are hot.
He gets there. He's there.
Brakes are.
Elliott inside in the chicane. Pounds Ryan Blaney.
Here comes
Kyle Busch. And it's a drag race to the line. Kyle Busch is going to steal the Busch class.
Looking to claim their first victories of 2021, Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney were battling it out at the Daytona Clash. Entering the final chicane, Chase Elliott throws it in right next to Ryan Blaney. They make contact in the chicane. Ryan Blaney goes around into the wall. Chase Elliott looks to be going on to claim the victory after wrecking Ryan Blaney, but ultimately Kyle Busch comes out of nowhere with a whole bunch of speed, passes Elliott, and takes home the checkered flag that night.
Allmendinger has a
Big run from the 11.
Yes, big run coming.
Go up.
Oh!
Half back, go bottom.
He had to block his teammate.
In line. In line. Go
Ross
up now.
Chastain blocks now, looking to get by A.J. Allmendinger for the win. He's going to turn him. The 10 turns the 16. Around goes the 11. The 11 is out front now. Haley is leading. Justin Haley went to the bottom, and Justin Haley is going to win.
Wow.
If you are racing your teammate for the win, the best thing to do is make sure one of you wins and neither one of you crashes. If you cannot win, make sure your teammate wins, but do not crash each other. Well, half of Colleague Racing failed that, but ultimately they got extremely lucky with Justin Haley picking up the win in the Daytona race. But still, Ross Chastain and AJ Allmendinger got together coming to turn 3 at Daytona, crashing both of them out of the race. Something extremely stupid to do when you're racing your teammate. It was also a pretty dumb move by a late block, but you know, we don't got to talk about that. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Also, if you've liked this video, I'm pretty sure these videos will catch your eye also.